Alright guys, this is a deck profile for the deck I got second at locals with yesterday. It's fish OTK. My build's a little bit different from everyone else's. It's really consistent. I thought it was gonna be Saki because I normally play Sabers, Infernities, or Icarus class, which are all really kind of control oriented, even the Infernities. But this one I just wanted to have some fun, so I tried it. Thought I was really gonna lose badly because of side decking, but it held its own. So here's the deck list. I'm just gonna speed through it because it's my second time doing this. I'm going backwards with spells first. Triple Econ, so you could do the Treeborn plays. Go through that one after. Double Avarice, because that card really wins you games. Pretty much every match I played, pretty much every game I played actually, I was down under 1,000 life points unless I OTK'd him early. And whenever I top decked the Avarice, I pretty much was able to come back from that because I could always go into Formula Synchron and stuff. So Avarice, Gold Sark to search your Cold Waves and Coelacanths, or Trinade even. This card really made this deck faster than it should be. It's extremely fast. I ran Triple Moray because game 1 you really want speed and consistency. So you just want to draw into these early so you could recycle the fish you don't want and bring out like a Swap Frog or a Coelacanth to your hand. One Duality, because if you open with this you pretty much win. You search for your combos first, second turn, and then next turn you pretty much win after that. I always take my Cold Waves with it and whatnot. Double MST for back row hate, because you have the Cold Wave Trinade, which are really good. Cold Wave on me pretty much every game yesterday because it's really broken. And then the double MST just give you that added support. Okay, that's where my body comes in. My body's pretty much a second Cold Wave or a second Trinade, because when you don't have either of those in your hand, you have this for the protection, so you don't need to be scared of overextending and hitting like a Torrential or Mirror Force, because you're gonna have this in your hand and be able to drop it. So my body really helped me a lot, even though I sided it out game 2 pretty much every time. My body was really good. And then Reborn Dark Hole. Okay, monsters, obviously the triple Coelacanth. It's broken. I always brought Fishborg back before I used his effect because I really didn't want to get Veilered. And then, of course, the targets for the Coelacanth: triple Fishborg, triple Oystermeister. A guy at locals was running the Royal Swampio version of this deck, but he went 2-2, didn't do too well. He ran like the Malevolent Catastrophe, not Malevolent Catastrophe, the Malesolent of the Emperor, so he wouldn't get hit by a Mask of Restrict because everyone plays Frog Monarchs over there, so everyone sides those. But he didn't do too well, so this version's a lot more consistent. I run this Frog engine, triple swap, double Treeborn, one Ronin. Double Treeborn is perfect. You don't need 3. It's just a dead card, and this deck's really tight on space already. Ronin gives you defense and it lets you tribute for Coelacanth when you need to, and the Swap Frog is just like the MVP of the deck, like always. I run the Gen X engine just to dump Treeborns early and stuff. A lot of people don't like it because you have to waste a normal summon, and then you get this card in your hand, which everyone thinks is really useless. But this card was my main tuner yesterday. I used it at least like 3 times each match to synchro. I always went into 6s with it. Like I would bring back a Treeborn, special swap, normal summon, Gen X controller, and synchro for 6, and stuff like that. Or I went into Gugnir with it a couple times, that kind of stuff. So I really like the Gen X engine because it gives you like a lot of cards in your hand, plus you're able to like dump your stuff and have a tuner. So it's really good. And then OTK stopper, because you don't have protection as your Gores. A lot of times I distribute the Gores tokens and the Gores for my Coelacanths. And then double Lad for control, because you have a lot of outings for tributes. So you bring out the Lad, earlier you get it the better, and you just pick at them until they lose. It won me a couple games yesterday actually. My side deck is the only thing I would change. I already changed it, made the changes. I was running double Cyber Dragon. I was siding double Cyber Dragon, double Chimera Tech, and double Smashing Ground. Those are the ones that took out. And then I'll show you what I put in. These were already there. DD Crow is super good. I'm keeping these in for sure, as well as Chain Disappearance, which my last matchup was against Formula Monarchs, and I decided these in. I had control, but then I lost game 3. He had 100 life points left. I was making some misplays, and then I top decked 2 Morays on the last 2 turns. And then I also forgot to put Mistform in my extra deck because it was in my Infinity extra deck. But yeah, no excuses. He is a really good player, and he utilized the faders, which really killed this deck. Water Arts for the faders and effect wheelers and stuff, and just to see the hand. I side these in against Frog Monarch most of the time, as well as dragons, because I need to hit the Future Fusion with the Gold Sarky or the Darkness Metal. And then the one card I'm also putting in is Mind Crush, because it works well with Water Art, and it helps me drop the Battle Faders just for insurance. Even if they don't have it, I still call it before the OTK, just so it could go through. System downs over the Cyber Dragons I was telling you about, because the Cybers, I only brought them in against Glads, and if you run the Cyber Dragons, you need to side the Cyber Dragons and the Chimera attacks, and you just don't have enough space in your extra deck for that. So that's why I chose the system downs today. Plus the cost isn't too much, because now that I'm siding Battle Faders over the Smashing Grounds, you're not going to be taking like huge hits, because as I told you guys, I was under 1,000 life points every game. So I decided to put these in over Smashing, because I was just taking way too many hits, because I always bounce the Swamp Frog and stuff like that. So the faders will really help. I was running 1 Vanity Fiend in the side deck. I put it in against my Glad matchup, but I didn't draw it. So I'm going to put 1 more, so I could put it in against Sabers, that kind of stuff, Infinities and Glads. And it'll just prevent special summoning, and you can play around it, so it's no problem. The Jinzo, I'm going to put it in against Gemini Stone and stuff. I sided it yesterday, but I didn't need to run it. No one was really running back row that I played. Everyone was running Decrees or like Frogs or something. Last card, the Burial. I sided this thing every game too, because everyone was siding DD Crows and Chain Disappearance against me. I never drew it, but I'm still gonna side it because it's gonna save me one day. Extra deck, triple formula, because you could hit this pretty much, I think, on average around like 6 to 7 times per game with the Avarice. It's really like the main synchro in this deck. Double Armory Arm, because you need them for the OTKs, because Oystermeister and Fishborg is Armory Arm. Plus, when I go against my friend's Obelisk Monarch build that I'm going to have a deck profile of, one time he hit me with Obelisk, I dropped Gores with the 4,000 token. Next turn I was able to sync for Armory Arm, put it onto the Obelisk token, and then I hit his Obelisk and he took 5,000. So yeah, Armory Arm is just overall really good. Plus you get the Colossal Armory Arm lock, so yeah. For the 5s, I have the Gashionodon for the OTK, and then the Catastor for pretty much everything else. I hit Catastor a lot of times, really good. 6s are Goyo and Brio, probably the best cards in the extra deck. I went into Goyo a lot to take my opponent's Treeborns and Ronitones and stuff. And then the Brio, you need it for the OTK. And even if it's not OTK, it's really useful. 7s, Black Rose and Gugnir. I only hit Black Rose once and it got Veilered. The Gugnir I hit a lot. It won me like maybe 30% of my games. Called it Gugnir. 8s, Stardust, Colossal. Colossal is a staple because you really need it in this deck. It runs over the dragons because you can suicide into like all 3 of the Darkness Metals and then still have an extra hit left. Plus you get the Armor unlock, which is not the main win condition, but like the second one. Stardust, I was running red Dragon Archfiend, but so because you could go red Nova really easily, but I didn't want to waste 2 Formula Synchrons at once. I'd rather keep one. So I put the Stardust in because a lot of times I would overextend and hit the Fader. So I would have like a red Dragon Archfiend and 2 other Synchros on the field, but no protection. Next turn the Dark Hole or Dark Dust, and I was out. So I put Stardust in for protection, and of course the Shooting Star, since you have the Stardust and formulas. Shooting Star won me my matchup against Disaster Dragon, which was my fourth match, I think. I Monster Reborned his Darkness Metal, used it to bring back my Stardust from the grave, synchroed it with my Formula Synchron, and I had complete control. And then the Mistworm, which I forgot to put in my extra deck. I was just running 14 cards yesterday in my extra deck because this was in my other deck box and no one wanted to let me put it in. But Mistform is really necessary because it gives you the win condition. I had it yesterday. I think it was Treeborn, Fishborg, Coelacanth, but no Mistform, so I couldn't hit it. So make sure you put that in your extra decks if you're gonna run this. I wouldn't make any changes to this because, as I told you, I've been playstesting with it a lot, and it's as consistent as it's gonna get. I've tried a lot of other builds. I tried triple duality. I tried it without the triple moray. I tried everything, but this is really good. When you try it, you'll see why. So yeah, that's my deck profile, and leave some comments. Thanks.